Hi, my name is Corey Brandon. Welcome to another episode of Soul Traveler 77. I have a special guest today. This is someone who has been in my group pretty much since it began, and she's here to tell her story about her most recent out of body experience. She's going to share that with us, um, and really kind of she's just gonna get into what her experiences was, and we'll kind of talk through it and kind of ask some questions near the end. But welcome, Char. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really good, thanks, Corey. How are you?
Good, good. I'm doing well. I know you. I hear the accent, so I know you coming from over the pond. You're
Yeah.
over in the UK. You say you're out there. We ain't gonna tell what city you in. That ain't important. Uh, but again, welcome to the channel. Um, and so yeah, go ahead and talk a little bit about your experience.
Cool. All right, let's get into it. So that day, um, I was feeling like the possibility of an OBE was kind of like in the back of my mind, like subconsciously just trailing there. And I thought, oh yeah, do you know what? Let's have a let's have a chill day, keep the energy calm and chill. So I had work, I did my job, finished work, and instead of going on my phone straight away, I just decided to do art. I didn't want to just be bogged down with technology that day. So I was like, you know what? Let me just keep my energy calm, focused on art. So I did some art, and then after that, I did the usual pottering around, cooking, dinner, cleaning, whatever. And then towards the evening, again, I thought, no, I'm going to stay away from my phone and laptop. So I did some coloring in, and I just felt like just keeping my energy nice, calm, keeping my aura clear, like that would be helpful. But at the same time, I didn't have like any major expectations. I was just like, let's just stay calm. So yeah, that's how my evening was. And then that particular night, I decided to sleep in the living room because the sofa is where it's at. That's where all my successful OBEs take place.
Yeah.
My partner's just got into it too, so I've got quite a big sofa. So I stayed on one side, she stayed on the other side. We don't touch each other, so we can't disturb each other. So it's a perfect setup. Um, so yeah, that night, I went to sleep but with no expectation. It was like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's cool. So gone to sleep, and I woke up, and when I looked at the time, it was 4:24. Went to the toilet. I came back, and I only looked at my phone because I thought, oh, let me just put on a binaural beat just to help me go back to sleep. But I had a message from you, and you had asked me if I had any new experiences lately, and I was like, you know what, let me try. Let me try. So that gave me the enthusiasm to actually, just try. So I was like, cool, I'm inspired. Let's get to it. So I think I found a delta wave beat, and so I put on my headphones, put on an eye mask, and I put on the delta waves. And within about 20 minutes, I was into the numb, the tingling, the vibration stage, which I like anyway. So it's like, if that's all that happens, I'm fine with that because I'm good with that. So yeah, I was laying there, fully into that phase, and then after about 20 minutes, half an hour, I felt a bit uncomfortable with my headphones, so I took them off, rolled over to my side, went to sleep. Then a further 20 to 30 minutes from then, I woke up in sleep paralysis, and I was like, oh my God. And I was so excited. And I started in my head, I was just like, go, 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 go. And like nothing was happening. And I said, no, relax, calm. You need to relax, relax. So as I'm saying relax, I'm also feeling my body flop at that same time. I'm like, relax. So I'm saying relax, and I stop speaking, and then I start hearing this like, I hear that noise in my ear really loud. It's a noise for, I call it the Dragon Ball Z noise. And so this noise is going in my ear, and then I feel my soul body. So I'm sleeping like this, but I feel my soul twist to the right hand side and roll off the sofa and then just like float. And I float past my partner. Now, how my living room is set up, the desk is next to the living room door. But once out of my body, the desk was in front of the living room door. So I'm like, how am I gonna like get out? How am I gonna move this? So I tried to pull the desk away, and I just ended up going through the desk and through the door. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. So then I was moving towards my front door, but it's like gliding. It was like gliding. It wasn't like a float or a walk, but I'm like gliding towards my front door. And as I get to the front door, I do this kind of like relaxy thing again. I just call it like flop. And as I flop, I just go straight through the door. So I'm like, cool. And on my landing in the block, there's a sensor light that comes on. Now that light didn't turn on, but it was so bright. I just remember like the landing just being super, super bright. But I could only like half see. It was like kind of like that. So then I thought to myself, oh yeah, I went to sleep with an eye mask on. So I did that. And then I could fully see. It was like I lifted the eye mask off. Um, and I could fully see, and I was like, okay, that's weird. So then I have a fire door. I went straight through the fire door. And then on the other side of the fire door is a stairwell and then a window. So I just floated through the window. And then I landed really like softly and gracefully on the courtyard floor. And as soon as I landed, I kind of chuckled to myself because I go to sleep really hot. So I'm always in my underwear. And when I landed on the courtyard, I was in my same underwear. And I was like, yeah, cool, whatever. It's like, cool. It's not the first time. Most of my OBEs, I'm in my underwear, so I'm kind of used to it.
Uh-huh.
Um, so as I land on the courtyard, I see my neighbor. Now, in the OBE state, I recognize her as my neighbor, but in real life, I don't know who, like, she's not my neighbor. I don't know who this person is. So she looks at me and she's like, oh, hey. And she says something to the words of, oh, you made it. You made it out. And I was like, yeah. So there was like a part of me that knew what she meant, and then there was a part of me that's like, okay, like,
Okay.
well, yeah, okay, cool, whatever. So she kind of walks past me and she's like pottering around in the courtyard, and then her dog is like super excited. So her dog charges towards me, and he's like yapping at me and really excited. But then he starts nipping the back of my leg, and I'm like, I can feel this dog biting the back of my leg. Like, what?
Wow.
And it wasn't painful, but it was just like very apparent, like it's
Yeah.
nipping the back of my leg. So I said to her, I was like, can you control your dog, please? Because it's just like biting the back of my leg. She's like, oh yeah, sorry. So she grabs the dog, puts the dog on the lead, fine. And then this other lady appears and she says, hey, and she's like, then the lady with the dog says, hey, we're gonna go for a walk. Do you wanna come with us? And I was like, yeah, sure. Oh, and that's it. I said to her, sure. Nothing strange about three women, one of them in her underwear, walking around this area in the middle of the night at like 4:30 in the morning. Nothing strange about that at all. Like, and then we just all started laughing. But it was like, that's how real it was. Like, I knew it was 4:30 in the morning. It was dark. I live in like the hood in where I live. And so yeah, it was just like funny. And then at that point, I thought, oh, let me see, because we have electric gates and a fence. And I was like, let me see if I can float through the fence. I tried to float through the fence and bang, I just hit it like hard. The fence hit my shin and I was like, ooh, so that's a little bit like painful, wasn't like painful here, but it startled me. I was like, wow, okay, that was really physical. I was not expecting that. So I'm
Right.
like, okay, I can't walk through the fence, so I'm gonna have to go through the electric gate like everybody else. So we go through the gates and we walk through the gates and then through the housing estate. Now, up to this point, everything looks exactly the same as how it looks now. Until we get around the corner and we start walking down the alleyway, then the scene kind of changes a little bit. And it's like, it's still dark, it's still like there's street lamps, but I remember, that there was like a park, like a green field on the left hand side kind of appeared. And then this guy appeared to my right hand side. And but I must know him because I just linked his arm automatically. Like I just linked his arm. And then he says to me, I can sense you, but I can't see you. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So I just think it's kind of funny and cute.
Right.
So another guy starts walking towards us and he's looking at us and he's got his phone out and he's filming us. So now I start panicking because I'm in my underwear and I'm like, I cannot be on TikTok. I cannot be on Instagram in my underwear. This is not happening. So then I say out loud, you need to check his phone because I can't be on that video. Like, we need to check his phone. So then the guy that's I'm linking his arm is like, hey, can I see your video? So he's like, yeah. So he takes his phone. We look at the video and I'm not in the video. And I realize that I can't be seen. Like, this guy can't see me as well. So I'm like, okay, cool. Phew, I'm not gonna be some social media like thing. So the guy gives his phone back and we start walking down again. And then these other guys appear who know the guy that I'm linking arms with. So they stop walking, they start talking, they're like, hey, hey, and they're saying hey. And then one of the guys says, hey, do you know you have someone with you? So the guy says, yeah, I know, I can sense them, but I can't see them. So the guy's like, yeah, I know, me too. I can only sense them as well. But do you remember I taught you how to shift your frequency and change your energy? So then he starts going into this like great detail about what to do to change your frequency and shift your energy. I cannot remember what he said, but I know that he kept quoting the light spectrum. And he was just saying like, it's all about the light spectrum. And he was saying a lot of scientific stuff. And so he was like, he had his eyes closed and he was doing this as if he was like mapping it out in his head. So he's explaining how to change his frequency. And then he looks in my direction and I can tell that he still can't see me. So he closes his eyes again and he's saying it all again and he's doing this with his hands. And he looks in my direction and he goes, hey. And I'm like, oh my God, he can actually see me. So I was like, hey. And he's like, oh my God, hey, you're really beautiful. And I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much. So are you look amazing. And we're just like, just giving love to each other, basically.
Right.
Um, and I noticed that all of them were dressed in a certain way. Like all three of them, they were like all black guys, all had do-rags on, all had like big silver jewelry and piercings. They looked like they should have been on the catwalk, like really done up, like fashionable guys. So we're just all walking together, walking and talking. Don't really remember much of the conversation, but I just remember thinking to myself, this is surreal. Like, it's so real. And this is mind blowing. That this is amazing. So we're walking and we end up at this house. And we walk into this house and I just remember the house being so bright and just yellow. It just seemed yellow. I don't know if it actually was yellow, but it was just so yellow and bright. And everyone's just doing normal stuff, like they're putting their bags down, they're sitting down, they're chatting. And I am just fascinated by the physicality and how hyper vibrant everything is. So I'm like pulling out chairs. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can feel this. I'm sitting on countertops. I'm like, I can feel this. What's going on? Like, just so like, it's so physical.
Right.
Um, so people are kind of like breaking off into little pockets where they're having conversations. And I noticed to my left that there's a mirror on the wall. So I go over to the mirror and I look in the mirror and I'm looking at myself and I'm about 95% the same. Like, my eye shape was just slightly different, my cheekbone structure was slightly different, and I had a mark across my chest, which I don't have. But everything else was the same. So I'm looking, staring at my eyes, and my left eye was a little bit bloodshot. But like, the more I looked at myself, the more I started to look more like myself. Like, I could see my face was literally changing in front of me and just looking more like me, which was fascinating to me. So I'm just staring. And then as I'm looking, I remember all these testimonials from all you guys and everyone on Darius' site, and they talk about, how they can heal the body. So I have gut health issues. So I get this bright idea and I'm like, let me find out what's going on with my gut. Let me understand what's causing the gut issues
Right.
and take it out my stomach. So I literally do this. I put my hand inside and I see my hand go inside my stomach. And it was like this. Like, if this is my skin, like I could see my hand under my skin, just like going into my stomach. And I'm just rummaging around, like I'm just gathering up and I gather up this like massive lump. And I'm like, yeah, like, let me just pull this out and then my stomach will be fixed. And then as I'm holding the lump and I look at it and I say, wait, you don't even know what you're holding. That could be your spleen, that could be your intestine, that could be anything. You're just gonna rip it out your stomach. No, 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 no. Like, I know it's a lot, I know what you're going through is a lot, but just let the body do what the body does. Like, your body's intelligent, it's fine, just let it go. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I let it go. And then I like rub my stomach and I try and give it some love. And at that point, I start feeling my consciousness fading. So I'm like, I look at my hands, I go 100% consciousness, 100% consciousness, 100%. And I'm back to full consciousness. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. So then at that point, I also noticed that I've been out a long time. Like, it feels like about an hour. And this is definitely the longest to date that I've been out. So I'm just like, wow, like, oh my God, I've been out for so long. So then I'm looking around and I'm just watching people have conversations. And then I notice that my partner is in the room. So we start having a conversation. Again, I don't know any details of this conversation. I don't remember what we spoke about, but we're speaking and something keeps drawing my attention back to the ceiling. I don't know why, but I remember being focused on the ceiling for some reason. But at that point, I remember my consciousness fading again. So I'm like looking at my hands, 100% consciousness, 100% consciousness. I'm back to consciousness. So at that point, I'm just like checking in with myself. I can feel like the surface underneath me where I'm sitting. I'm, I'm in a conversation with my girlfriend, but I'm aware of the conversations over there. Like, it's like I can hear it all. It's like it's all happening, but it's not overwhelming. Like here, I have ADHD. That would overwhelm me so
Right.
much. I wouldn't be able to cope with it. But there, it was just like, it was just normal. It was
Yeah.
just absolutely normal.
Yeah.
Um, and then again, I start to feel the fade. So I look at my hands again, and this time my left hand only has 3 fingers. So, but it's like I knew automatically that was the lack of consciousness.
Yeah.
So my thumb had a stub. So I pull on the stub and I pull my thumb up and it's like super long. And then I go to my little finger and I pull my little finger up and it's also super long. So then I like push them down to make them all the same what they should be. And I'm looking
Uh,
at my hands, I go 100% consciousness, 100% consciousness, 100% consciousness. And then I literally feel my soul just like flopping back. And then I felt myself just like land back into my body. And I opened my eyes and I was like, oh my God, that was
yeah.
amazing. And I
That's it.
straight away to my journal and just like wrote it all down as quickly as I could. Like, it was dark. I had to put the torch on my phone to like, get some light. Wrote it down in my journal, looked at the clock, and I noticed I'd been out an hour.
Okay.
So the fact that I felt that it was an hour in the
Yeah.
space, and it
Yeah.
was actually an hour, it was just,
Yeah.
it was incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's interesting. That whole experience is probably one of the coolest ones I've heard to date, just
Really?
because of, really because it sounds a lot like what I've experienced, like when you come out and stuff is kind of odd, this is weird, you
Yeah.
know, this is kind of out of position or whatever. And so also the fact that you were able to be with other souls
Yeah.
in your space and interact with them, because these are souls you've probably known for eons.
Yeah, I
Like,
guess
you know what
so.
I mean? And it's just you weren't aware of it because you're coming out every night unconsciously and you
Yeah.
probably hanging out with these guys all the time. But now
Yeah.
you're consciously coming out, so you're aware that, oh shoot, this is
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know these people, like, right? Your neighbor, I know these people, right?
Yeah.
And it was interesting that the other soul couldn't, they could feel your presence, which is very normal. People
Mm.
will come into your space or into your space, and you
Mm.
may feel that person's energy in your space, but you can't see them. That's happened
Yeah.
before to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I've gone into other people's field. I remember Darius called me and said, "Hey, you was in my field," and I was like, "What?" I didn't even.
What?
Again, I wasn't even trying to have an OBE that night, but
Wow.
my soul comes out every night. So one night he
Yeah.
told me,
Yeah.
you were in my field. Uh, me and my daughter was in his field.
Wow.
So I never told nobody about this, but he saw me and my daughter at the playground like in a field, and it was a big tree. And I was like, for real? Me and my daughter just went to the playground today, and it was a big tree in the playground.
No
So
way.
yeah, no, it's crazy. And so this is all normal stuff. Like it's
Oh,
almost a
wow.
point it don't surprise me no more. Like when if
Yeah.
he tell me like you was in my field, I'd be like, yeah, I probably was. Like, you know, and so people are, its souls are in your field, you're in other people's field,
Mm,
and the fact you was in sharing that space with that person, and they could sense you, but they couldn't see you until
mm,
after they had changed their frequency to match yours
yeah.
so that they could see you. And
Yeah.
so that's ultimately what that other soul had taught him, how to change your frequency
Yeah.
to see match the frequency of what you're trying to see. And so that's probably somebody who isn't used to being, or a soul that is just starting to come out of their body and they don't know everything yet.
Mm,
Because once you come out your body and consciously enough, you know, like you can come out and you command, like, I want to see everything, the full spectrum, and it just
yeah.
happens. But it was cool that you got to see all of that. Another thing that stood out to me was the physicality. Like you had
Oh,
mentioned, like
God.
being able to put your hand through stuff. And I know when I went to the realm two, I flew through the roof. I could feel the molecules of the wood and all
Mm,
the materials of my roof as I was going through it. But it was
yeah.
so quick, but I could feel all of that.
Yes.
So I know what it's like to see something physical and touch it, but you feel everything that
Yeah.
it is actually made of, not even just
Yes.
the item itself, but what
Yeah.
it is, the
Yeah.
essence of what that item is. So that was dope. Um, that's a super cool experience. I tell you, Char,
Thank
that's
you.
like I said, that's probably one of the coolest ones I've heard. Especially because there were other souls involved, and the other
Yeah.
souls couldn't even sense you. So you in somebody else's field, and they couldn't see you, but they could sense you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then just ultimately, I'll tell you another thing: the bright color yellow that happened when I was in my house. So my whole house turned like this bright lime greenish yellow color, the
Oh,
whole
wow.
house. And my house
Wow.
is, the walls are white. So when
Yeah.
I was walking through my house, the whole house lit up in this like bright lime faint. It's like a soft lime green. It's a color I'd never seen before,
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's funny when you said the whole place, you didn't even know if it was that color. It just
Yeah.
appeared.
It's just
That's how
yellow.
I know that
Yeah.
experience, because that's how it was in my house. I was like, my house, but I knew it wasn't that color because I knew I was
Yeah.
still in my house. So I was like, what color is this? And it was like
Yeah.
crazy. So, but again, thank you for sharing that experience with us, Shar. Like, I don't, I tell people, and I'm gonna be doing more of these interviews. So when you have other experiences and you want to share them, definitely let me know. But I'm gonna be doing more of
Mm.
these testimonials going forward, because ultimately I want people to share these experiences so more and more people see that this is commonplace and it's not
Oh,
like something
yeah.
weird, or
Yeah.
you're not going to hell or nothing
Oh, God.
silly like that. It's just
Yeah.
it's literally the experience we are having when we're not here.
Yeah.
And so, this place makes everything else seem like it's unfathomable.
Mm.
But when you get to that side, this place becomes that. Like this place
Definitely.
becomes the how can I be here, or why am
Yeah.
I in
Yeah.
this? Like
Why am I even here?
this is so minute compared to what I know everything else to be.
Yeah.
And so, one of the things I try to do is stay grounded and understand that, hey, I'm here for an experience. It's
Yeah.
okay. Like the ups, the downs, the good, the bad, I'm here for all of it. But it's just something about seeing that other side and seeing the control you have, like how you was able
Mm.
to control how conscious you stay by looking at your hand, the stuff we talk about in our group. You know what I'm
Definitely.
saying? Say, look
Definitely.
at your hands,
Yeah.
command consciousness, and how that worked for you. How you was able to manipulate things and put your hands through stuff. How you was even able to command the fact that you didn't want that guy taking a video of you to see you, so his video didn't have you in it, because
Yeah.
nobody can do anything to you that you don't want done to you unless you believe it to be
So
so.
true.
So in that moment, you was like, I don't want
Mm.
to be in my underwear and be a TikTok video. And so in his phone, when he showed it to the guy, you wasn't in the video, right? That
Yeah.
doesn't that
No.
doesn't take away his autonomy to take a video. That just takes away his autonomy to put you in that video because that's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
what you believe to be so. So
Yeah.
that was really cool.
So
Like
true.
that was a really good experience, and I'm so thankful you shared it with me. So keep having those experiences. Anytime you want to share them with me, let me know. We'll bring you back on and you can share
Cool.
those experiences. But hey, thank you, peace, and blessings.
Ah, thank you, Corey. Appreciate the platform.
All right, you're
Thank you.
welcome.